student union at the University of Minnesota and how virtual collaboration could be both a challenge and a benefit. So first off, I'll talk about what I'm going to be talking about today, which is how it's important for investors to understand the theories behind collaborating virtually for this project, and also how a client could overcome or minimize some of the challenges that I will be talking about later on. So first off, the benefits. So when you're meeting as a group, it can be really easy to have a large audience for many people to listen to what you have to say, and you can meet together. And also, most of us students have the right technology to log on and watch a screencast or a webinar that can work together. Or people can do this at the library. It's just a matter of getting there. And then that leads me to think that people don't have to commute unless they don't have a laptop or the right technology at home to the meeting, which means there will be less absences. And then you can also record your meeting or virtual collaboration, so people who weren't able to log on and be a part of it can also watch it at home. And then the challenges could be that the audience could get too big, that it's not personalized anymore. Some people may feel like they are left out and that they didn't have the right opportunity to ask questions. In this case, they'd have to take the extra step to email someone or text or whatever that may be. And then there's also always tech problems, such as Wi-Fi being down or too many people on the Wi-Fi or loud noises in the back, just stuff like that you can't really get around sometimes. And lastly, there's a couple ways you can overcome these problems, is making sure that before you start a club or a virtual collaboration, something like that, you should have the right technology and make sure that everybody has this and has access to it. And then you could also make sure that everybody knows your information and everyone's connected through another platform for individual questions and just other stuff like that.
Looking at two major components of our recommendations for the SUA, student organizations and groups. So Noah's going to talk about his first section, and then I'll jump into communication, and then we'll give some final insights and recommendations.
All right, so basically my first part is I'm going to go over just kind of the advantages and disadvantages of virtual collaboration, everything that come with it. I'm going to go over both those things, then like for the disadvantages, difficulties, I'm going over some possible like fixes for them at the end. So to start with some advantages of it is generally using technology is pretty easy to do. It can like really negate some of like the difficulties of like scheduling things and commuting to different locations. Also, if it's one of those things, if for example something comes up and you're not like able to make it, there's many like different like applications where you can like have like a watch later feature where like whatever you're doing, you can record it and like save it, so if someone's missing out, you can go back and like catch back up. Then also there's like no need to worry about like, say you have to like reserve a room for something, there's no need for that because you can have as many people as you need like involved. Some of the disadvantages of it are, since it's not in face-to-face, like actually like in person, it can be kind of hard to all be involved and interact with each other, so it can be kind of hard to ask questions. It can lead to people feeling like less personal and less like connected and everything like that.
Yeah, if I can add to that, actually, I think one big thing that you miss out when you do remote meetings is like the body language and just kind of like nonverbal cues that you pick up when you're speaking to somebody in person. I think those kind of get lost if you're doing everything kind of like remotely. But those things can kind of be shored up if you do kind of recap meetings afterwards that are in person. If you space those out in between your virtual meetings, I think that really helps pick up on the individual personalities of the group and the team dynamic and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Agree. And then also with the technology, so it's been able to touch on is while it can be easy, it is technology and it can like have random things that like happen where it can like say like some random technology thing typically happening. You just can't. Kind of like to like wrap things up for my part is like the ways to deal with these things is just like beforehand, just make sure everyone's very aware of what kind of technology you're using, so everyone can make sure they have the right things, make sure it's like the cheapest option and you like most likely the easiest option, the easiest one to use. Then for like the interaction part, people not feeling like they can ask their questions or get their like word out, you can also have like kind of like what you said, like have a separate time to talk maybe, or like a different like questionnaire or section, like discussion group where you can like ask your questions specifically and get more involved overall. Yeah, it's basically my part.
Tying in pretty nicely with Noah's recommendations for technology. Our major recommendations for communication are going to be to basically put student groups that aren't currently on a unified communication platform onto one. And there are a lot of different options for this. I'll give a couple examples and then just walk through one and how it might benefit, what the benefits are basically for doing this. This is Discord, which is a communications platform that is community-based. So as you can see on the left here, all of these are separate community channels. And it's very customizable, so all these channels can be set for different things, such as announcements. And then we have both text and voice channels, so you can share links as well as actually conduct meetings on here. There's also functionality for screencasting, video sharing, and pretty much all the functionality you would need to do meetings within an organization. So I think this is a great example of one technology that could be used to kind of unify a group that might have trouble meeting in person onto a technology where they can check this every day, check for announcements, check for updates, and then also conduct remote meetings that really shores up a lot of these issues, especially for student groups where everyone's pushed for time in their own daily schedules. Another good example of this is Slack, which is used a lot by a lot of corporations, and Slack kind of does its own consulting where they integrate the communications platform into the tools and the applications that the company already uses. So there are a lot of major companies that use Slack internally, and I think that could be a great option as well for the platform that we recommend to these student groups. So obviously some of the major benefits here are that you have a place where even if somebody misses a meeting or can't make it in person, you can create smaller meetings and smaller conversations between just two or three people out of the team, or subdivisions and subcommittees. And then also you can post updates, post links, post links to documents and things like that, where people can catch up to that on a daily basis if they miss something, or these subcommittees are operating separately. So I think these are some of the really crucial benefits of technology and digital literacy to making teams, and specifically in this case, student groups and student organizations, more cohesive as a whole. So I think that about sums up our recommendations
for you. Say you're in a student group and you're one of the managers that edits policies, you can edit. If you're not a manager and you're a student member of a student organization, the manager or the owner of that file can allow you to only view it. And also you can comment on it, as it shows here. They are private unless you choose them not to be private between individuals you are sharing it with. And of course that's safe and secure. It's crucial, and they're encrypted using SSL, so I feel like that's a very good feature for keeping confidentiality and ways to keep it within the organization and not lost out of it. Another tool I found for collaborating individually as well as in a large group setting is TeamViewer. This is very good for talking to many people at once. You can share your screen and video with the group. You can channel groups. You can do comprehensive reporting, management console. With this, I found that one-on-one meetings are used for this and are crucial. Luckily for TeamViewer, it provides that type of platform for one-on-one face meetings and also group meetings, but I feel like this is the best for one-on-one meetings because you can actually control the other person's screen. So if you're training or teaching somebody how to do something, you can control their screen and click on wherever they need to go. So for example, you need to go to a tab like Google Drive to check out files. You control their screen and show them how to access each single file or presentation, Word document, PDF, sort of things like that, where you can collaborate. You can show them on Google Drive how to access the Microsoft Word file that they need to be working on with their group. Things like that, TeamViewer enables people to do in a group setting as well as a one-on-one face thing where it's video and screen at the same time. So using TeamViewer and Google Drive, those two coupled can be used for training techniques for a student union association. It can be a training tool for consultants. Virtual collaboration tools I found is Google Drive. This is very useful for sharing files such as, what are we looking at in human resources, such as policies, rules and regulations, compensation and benefits, instead of giving your employee or, say, student intern a hard copy of everything that's found in the handbook. You can easily upload it online. You can keep any file from PDFs to Word document files, so that'd be a good way of sharing your rules and regulations as well as policies for the exact place that you're working for. You can share it how you want. You can allow people to edit it. So if you find someone that will edit tools for getting this entire student union organized and ready to make things happen. Yep. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.